Alright, hi everyone, Tom McAllister, whatever here, and just wanted to get my thoughts out on the PTB, what little bit I've played of it. So, first things first, I have to admit, right off the bat, I am immediately a fan of the fact that Rebecca Chambers is being put in the game. While I love Ada and Albert, Rebecca is probably one of my favorite Resident Evil characters to ever exist in the entire world, and I always feel like she never gets enough love. So, that being said, looking at some of the... Just going off of, I've only played against Wesker. I haven't gotten to play as Wesker. I've watched a bunch of footage of Wesker being played. He looks like he's going to be really powerful, but he's also going to be really fair, which I think is important. It feels like he's going to be fun to go against, and I'm really excited to get tossed around by him all the time. Now, that being said, I'm not going to talk about the RPD map changes yet, because I haven't played it enough to really form an opinion on it, but it's interesting. So far, I can't say that I think it's good yet, per se, but I think it's interesting. Yeah. So, moving into the perks of everyone is what I'm going to do here, because, like I said, I haven't gotten to play Wesker enough to comment on his abilities. He looks like he's really fun, though, and I look forward to playing him, but for right now, I'm just going to stick to talking about the perks. So, first up on the perk list, we have Albert, the Mastermind, with Superior Anatomy. When a survivor performs a fast vault within 8 meters of you, this perk activates. The next time you vault a window, your vaulting speed is increased by 30, 35, and 40%. This perk deactivates after vaulting a window. This perk has a 30-second cooldown. Now, I think this one's cool. I think it's probably going to go well with stuff like Bamboozle, for example. I'm interested to see how, like I said, haven't gotten to play Wesker, so I don't know how it feels on him, but I can see it being interesting on some various killers. When carrying a survivor, this is Awaken Awareness. When carrying a survivor, you can see the aura of other survivors within 16, 18, and 20 meters of your position. Auras revealed this way linger for 2 seconds after you stop carrying the survivor. I think this is going to be most powerful on the nurse, probably. That's my initial feeling, like a Starstruck, Awakened Awareness nurse. But even then, I think Awakened Awareness and Starstruck is going to be a really good combo that we'll probably get to see a lot more of. So... yeah, Terminus. When exit gates are powered, this perk activates. While the perk is active, injured, downed, and hooked survivors are inflected with the broken status effect until exit gates are open. When exit gates are open, survivors will stay broken for an additional 20, 25, and 30 seconds. So, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I hate in-game perks. I don't like using in-game perks. I never use in-game perks. So, I can't really speak to whether this one's good or not, purely because of the fact that I think, you know, Blood Warden featuring Terminus is going to be interesting. And stuff of that nature, maybe even like No Way Out, like just the possibility of being able to keep people injured until the exit gates are open does seem really powerful in my mind. I'm interested to see how this one works out as well, because like I said, I've only played a couple matches against Wesker, and I didn't get to see the end game for I think 2 or 3 of them, and then the other ones I always escaped, and I don't think they ran Terminus, but I could be wrong. So that's Albert Wesker's perks. I also want to say that I love that they went with a Resident Evil 5 look for Wesker here. I'm glad that they used that version of him. I am curious to see if they add in cosmetics revolving around him in some of the other games. That'll be interesting. However, I want to move on. I want to look at Ada Wong, who I'm also excited for cosmetics for as well. I'm hoping for a Resident Evil 6 outfit. I'm also hoping for the Resident Evil 2 trench coat that she has in the remake as well. But looking at Ada's perks, I am not too excited. Let's go ahead and start off with the first one, which is low profile. This perk makes it harder for the killer to find you when it's only the 2 of you on the map. When you become the last survivor with low profile, this perk activates, hiding your scratch marks and pools of blood for 70, 80, and 90 seconds, giving you a better chance of escaping within that time. I do not care for these kind of perks. It's the same reason I don't like Left Behind, I don't like Soul Survivor. I don't enjoy perks that are entirely based around my entire team dying and me being the last person left. So I do not care about this perk, in all honesty. Next up is Reactive Healing. When another survivor within 32 meters of you loses a health state while you are injured, you instantly increase your healing progression by 25, 30, 35% of the missing healing progression you already have. You do not need to be injured for this perk to work correctly. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'll be curious to see that one. I'm seeing like Resurgence maybe pairing well with that one. Like if you get off the hook and then the person who got you off the hook gets hit. 32 meters is a large fucking space too. That's a lot of map, honestly. 32 meters is very large, all things considered. Yeah, so that one will be interesting. I don't think it's meta entering, but I think it's an interesting perk. Next up is Wiretap. After repairing a generator for at least 33%, this perk activates. You will need to repair a generator for 3 seconds and then press the ability button to use this perk, which allows you to install a Wiretap. It will remain active for 60, 70, and 80 seconds. While active, the aura of a trapped generator is yellow and all survivors can see them. In addition, when a killer enters within 14 meters of the trapped generator, their aura is revealed to everyone while they stand there. However, if the killer damages the generator, the Wiretap is destroyed. So that's interesting. I think it should be a lot easier to work on gens with the killer chasing someone around it if you have Wiretap because of the aura reading ability. I think this is just, it's a little bit more information-based blast mine, which is interesting. It doesn't flash the killer or do anything to the killer when he kicks the gen, but it does give, survivors information. I think there's probably better aura reading perks in the game, but I do think that this one has the possibility to be interesting. I used Wiretap in the games that I played when I was playing Ada, and I definitely think there's a possibility there. I think that there's a definitely, it could be interesting. It could definitely work in like a Swift as well. And even then, I think Wiretap could work in solo kill also. All right, moving on, we're going to look at Rebecca Chambers perks now. Starting with Better Than New. Upon completing a healing action on another survivor, the target survivor gets a 6% speed boost to generator repair, healing, chest opening, and totem cleansing for 20, 30, 35 seconds. I'm like half and half on this one. I can see how it could be kind of interesting depending on what kind of build you're running. Like Better Than New ran with like Prove Thyself or other perks that help speed up the process of doing gens or healing people. And then you kind of give them, like with Prove Thyself, that's a 6% bonus, so that's a 21% boost to repairing the gen. Granted, it only lasts 20, 30, and 35 seconds. I think it still has potential. I think it's going to be a lot more used in like a Swift scenario more than like solo queue, but I think it's interesting nonetheless. Now, this next one, Reassurance. This one I almost want to guarantee is going to become meta. When within a 6-meter radius around a hook survivor, use the active ability button to pause their struggle progression for 20, 25, and 30 seconds. If they are on the struggle phase, it also pauses the struggle skill checks. This perk has a 40-second cooldown. Now, can you imagine multiple survivors running Reassurance? That is I think I saw a video on Twitter where someone managed to stay in, I think it was tier 1 phase for, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, I think, because I think everyone was running Reassurance. So I really think that this perk's going to become meta. I think that this perk might actually be healthier for the game now than Borrowed Time would be, in the sense that camping killers are going to, this is the hugest detriment to camping killers we've seen in a very long time. So, excuse me. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's got a lot of potential, and I'm curious to see, once again, with all of this, I'm curious to see how it acts in the actual game, but I think Reassurance is probably going to be one of the best perks to come out of this update. Next up is Hyperfocus. After hitting a great skill check while repairing or healing, this perk gains 1 token, up to 6 tokens. Each token increases the chance of a skill check trigger by 2%. The skill check cursor speeds by 4%, and the bonus progression for great skill checks by 10, 20, and 30% of its base value. The perk loses all tokens in case of a normal skill check success, skill check fail, or if you stop performing the action by any means. I have zero interest in this one purely because I think it comes with way too many stipulations for it to be worth anything. I think that could be potentially very powerful if you hit great skill check, hit great skill check after great skill check, and you're not getting pushed off the gen, and you don't have like a Scourge Hook Dead Man Switch combo going on. So I don't think this one's going to be worth a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. I can see why it might be interesting, but I don't think it's going to do all that much in the larger scheme of things. So yeah, overall, I will say, despite the fact that maybe I don't like the perks very much, I do think Ada, Rebecca, and Wesker all look great. I am very excited that they're entering the game. I'm very excited Rebecca is getting some love. I'm probably going to spend all my time leveling up Rebecca and Ada first, and then I'll probably do Wesker last, but I am very interested in this chapter. I think it looks very cool. I think that they as always, the cosmetic department put a shit ton of work in, and everything looks great, per usual. The perks, like I said, some of them are interesting. I'm not particularly, blown away by any one of them except Reassurance. I almost said Resurgence, which is also a great perk, but Reassurance definitely looks like a great perk, and I think it's going to become new meta when it does come out. Other than that, perks are meh, but I do think that this killer looks very fun to play as and to go against, and I'm just excited for more Resident Evil stuff in DBD. So Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, favorite, all that kind of bullshit. And I will see you next time. Bye!